Lights on. Call this meeting to order. Determine there was a quorum. Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Garcia, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We have a quorum. Commissioner Vasquez is in San Antonio with a little procedure that his mother was going to have, and naturally, always, family comes first. If y'all will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Wardlaw, if you don't mind.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
And if y'all don't mind, one of our council members, J.P. Sanchez's dad passed, Frank Sanchez. And during, I guess, my life, there's a handful of people that you looked up to, your parents naturally and your dad, but this is one of the individuals that you look up to and always could go visit with. So, if y'all don't mind, I'd like to have a moment of silence for this man. Thank y'all. Citizens' comments, we have one. He showed up late, but we're going to take him anyway.
Judge, some minutes.
I already started. Okay. Right, I've already messed up. Yeah.
That's me.
Then try not to say flavor. Okay, we're going to go to item 8. All right. Item 5. Approving and amending minutes.
Motion to approve minutes as presented.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 6. We're going to go to Mr. Cave now. James, if you want to come up under citizens' comments, sir.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Cave. I am a project lead for what is known as the Land Compensation Assistance Program. Behind me is Ms. Herrera. She is our research lead. What this is, I just want to bring attention to it for anybody who is interested. This is set up to help any landowners who are suffering from damages done to their property due to border crimes caused by illegal immigrants or law enforcement themselves. This program is set to streamline the process for anybody who is suffering from this. We take care of the majority of the issue for them, so they don't have to stress about it. The issue lately is that the program in place right now, created by the Attorney General's office, is convoluted and very hard to navigate, especially for landowners themselves. And let me tell you, I haven't met one yet who does not hate the program set up. So we are contractors working out of Kinney County, and we have done this. This is our own project. We don't get paid for it. We're simply here to help people, and we can go out to your land, we can take down whatever information we need, and we will get you through this process so you can get up to anywhere of $75,000 per claim for any damages that happened after September 1st, 2023. A little caveat, which is weird. I feel like that doesn't help anybody. But ultimately,
It does.
Yes, sir.
It will.
That is why we are here.
Okay. Phone number?
Phone number is 512-629-7601.
Okay. I just wasn't sure whether to hand this one out or not, but we greatly appreciate it. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much, sir.
Thank you.
We're going to move up to item 10. Discussion possible action on Justice of Peace Precinct 2. It was his birthday last week, and me and Juanita thought it would be nice if we started something, and it just happened we were going to start it with Judge Disler. sing him happy birthday and present him with a cake. We didn't bring the balloons and everything like what they did for you last week, but, we are gonna sing happy birthday to you. Judge Disler, if you don't mind coming on up here. I know that, Commissioner Vasquez wanted to be here, but, he couldn't. He's taking care of Mama. Come on up. We're gonna shake your hand, present you with a cake. Happy birthday, Judge. And all we did, on behalf of Commissioner's Court, Commissioner Vasquez, and all the rest of us, we're gonna present you with a cake. Anybody that wants to have cake later on, it will be, next door at the main building. There's cake, coffee, water. I don't think there's tea or anything, but water and coffee. Okay, so I'm gonna start us off. Jenna and all them, y'all wanna come up here and sing happy birthday? Y'all don't mind? Also, it's, Constable, Trevino's, birthday, today, as a matter of fact. But he's out of town with, I guess with another individual that's receiving an award. Right? Okay. So I wanna sing happy birthday to you, Judge. I'll get it started. Y'all are more than welcome to join in to sort of drown out what I say. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Judge Disler. Happy birthday to you. We didn't do as good a job as embarrassing as the other ones. We tried.
I appreciate that.
Oh, they did.
You will take that.
Yes, thank you.
And there is cake next door for everybody. If y'all want to walk next door, or they can come get it, bring it to you, whatever.
We go right now?
They can. All right. We're gonna start doing that, probably once a month, for elected officials and department heads. All right, here we go. Item 7, discussion possible action. We do have a treasury report in the packet.
Motion to approve, Judge?
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Garcia, does anybody have any questions on the treasury report? Did you all have a chance to look at it? Okay, no questions? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 8, discussion possible action on the affidavit of posting findings of no significant impact notice of intent to request release of funds, Valverde County, fiscal year 24 community project funding. Basically, we're just asking for the funds to be released.
What projects or funding are we talking about?
Yeah.
The who?
The Chavita Park?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Okay. Have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second. Commissioner Flores. We've been working on this, and I had a problem with my PIN. I had a problem with my password. Got the password fixed. I had a problem with my PIN. Finally got the PIN fixed. And then, Carl and Elva and everybody took care of that yesterday, so now we're able to input information. The deadline was a couple of weeks ago, but they gave us an extension just because you can't go to one group to get the PIN and take care of everything. It's like, it's government, so everybody has to give you separate items because it's all encrypted and everything else. So I do have a motion from Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 9, discussion possible action regarding the action for release of funds and certification of Valverde
Motion
County.
to approve, Judge.
Okay. A motion, Commissioner Flores. Second,
Second.
Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 11, discussion possible action with Town Methodist Healthcare Ministries and VCF Health and Human Services to assist residents of Valverde County at the Precinct 2 Town Hall meeting. Before we make a motion on this, there's a change. It was scheduled for today, this afternoon. It is scheduled for July 2nd, 2025. Commissioner Vasquez is having a town hall meeting there on 315 East Chapoy. The facility is known as the Tony Foss Building at 6:30. Address is 315 East Chapoy. Time is 6:30 on July 2nd, 2025. And he will have a town hall meeting, and these groups will be there to assist. So we need a motion to approve, that way.
I'll move.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. And again, Karen, she did all that. 3:15, 6:30. I wrote it down. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 12, discussion possible action to enact a ban on fireworks. Basically, the fireworks we've always enacted a deal on missiles with fins and rockets with sticks.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 13, motion to discuss and approve the application. Thank you, ma'am. The application for HABA grant and matching funds, Chapter 19 funds to purchase election equipment with the signature of the county judge as a point of contact and authorized to approve the purchase required for the election equipment. Additionally, to assert and approve the payment over and above the grant amounts.
Motion to approve, Judge. This is just to go and apply for the grant?
They're going to apply, and then whatever the cost of the equipment is, will come out of the rest of Chapter 19. We don't exactly know what the cost of equipment is, but there's a grant, there's Chapter 19, and then if there's more money needed, it'll have to come out of court.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. We really don't know what the equipment is specific yet, but we
Okay.
need to get this process started. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Okay, Melissa, you took up 3 pages. Item 14, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a 2025 Chevy
Motion to
Tahoe.
approve, Judge.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores,
Second.
second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 15, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of 2025 Chevy Suburban from Cardinal.
Motion to approve.
Judge, on this amount here,
Mhm.
the numbers are transposed. It's $64,570.
For the record, motion accepts.
Motion accept.
Second?
Second.
Accepts. So Commissioner Ward, had a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Before, okay, never mind. There's nobody here, right? Gina? Yes, sir. Let's go through this and we'll have a conversation on this. Discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a Challenger auto lift from Napa Pro Auto for $7,000, including delivery and installation. This will be used for the mechanic at the sheriff's office, money to come out of auto expense. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve. Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. When you get back, if you will laugh, Chief Ortiz, within his budget, he put a $7,000 lift. Lift?
Okay.
Yeah, not lift, I'm sorry. If you will ask him, if this is the one that he had in his budget. If he's just buying it now, that way I can strike it.
Okay.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 17, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Excuse me. Item 18, discussion possible action to approve the renewal upgrade on the sheriff's
Motion to
office.
approve. Second.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 19, discussion possible action to authorize the purchase agent to advertise for competitive sealed bids for one custom mobile cascade system for the fire department funding from Border Zone Grant.
Motion to approve. Second.
A motion, Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. We'd already got prices on this, right? Already, so we're already going down the right road. It was within the grant and everything else.
Yes.
Okay. A motion, Commissioner Garcia, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 20, discussion possible action to authorize the purchase of agent to advertise for.
Motion to approve, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 21, discussion possible action to authorize the purchase agent to advertise for competitive sealed bids for the following commodities: road materials, oil, fuel, janitorial services.
Motion to approve. Second.
On motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Garcia. All this will be brought back to us, during the budget process for.
Yes.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 22, discussion and possible action to appoint an evaluation committee, a minimum of 3 individuals to score the request proposals 2576 for adult probation expansion. Melissa, Carlos, and who else do y'all want?
You?
Really?
Or-
Okay.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Second.
Okay.
I'll let Kerr second.
Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw, with Melissa, Carlos, and myself being on the committee. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. On this one here, before we have a motion or whatever, we'll need to figure out where the money's come from. Discussion possible action to authorize the purchase a used or newer digger truck for the amount of $29,000 to $39,000. If we could change the 2012 to 2008, because one of the ones that was in there that had low hours was a 2008, if y'all don't mind, from available appropriations. Nancy, I talked to Matt yesterday, and he said he was going to give us a couple of options. I said contingency. He said, let me look. I know that there's a tax note in there that there was some money still left, I think 15,000 and change. but-
Correct. We do have 15,208 with 34 cents available in the 1178 fund, which is a tax note. And the balance could come out of the 1901 capital project.
Expenditure.
Yes, for the court discretion. The balance could come out of there. So
Okay.
those would-
Where's this truck go, Judge?
This truck here is probably gonna end up at Fairgrounds and Parks. We have, it's a digger, and then it's got the cable that comes out the end. Some of the trucks that we looked at were 25, 27 foot reach. The one that I'd like to have is probably about a 45, 47 foot reach. We've got, 12, light poles to put out at the soccer fields, that there's already money set aside to do this. There was gonna be a cost of about $12,000 just to dig the holes.
It's a drill.
The drill, and then to put them up with another cost of $7,000, $8,000. I think we're gonna need to set up the pole at your place also. There's a pole across the street. We've been drilling holes with a skid steer and trying to pick them up with a loader. And we're gonna end up getting somebody hurt. So this way, this thing will drill them. It'll drill them, and then we have the height advantage of it, that we can actually hook on the pole higher than lower, and it doesn't balance. But the truck would be stationed out at Parks and Fairgrounds.
Motion to approve. Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw gave the motion, Commissioner Flores gave the second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 24, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a 2024 Ram 2500 cargo van for $47,164 for the library. Authorized funds from available appropriations. Commissioner, this is for the satellite library. Well, they'll be able to use it for anything that they need. But the main thing is right now is for the satellite library to take books back and forth. Commissioner Vasquez had provided a pickup. But he's probably going to need it back. So this would be a way to facilitate the movement of library equipment, whether it be books or whatever. Taking them back and forth for storage. Nancy?
Contingency, we have available 72,000,
Okay.
about 72,000.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a question.
Mhm.
How often are you be moving books or
They're
what?
moving, but they're using it almost every day. Whether it's not so much that right now it's not being used as much as we would like to see it used. The problem is that they're reshuffling books back and forth.
The library doesn't have any funds?
No.
Another option would be, we can add it to the enterprise.
Take it out of enterprise? Out of the enterprise fund, the one that's in capital?
Yes.
Okay.
It would be added, that could be another option.
Okay, the only thing with that is though that they've been working on vehicles that were damaged. And they just came in. I know that we probably have 11 right now that are getting fitted or
We just
Oh,
received 8.
Huh?
We just received 8
Yeah, but there was
vehicles, and then
another
we've
group
got
that's,
another.
another group that's coming in, I think there's a total of 11.
Yes.
And, some of them were bought with Operation Lone Star, some of them bought with Enterprise. And the ones that with Operation Lone Star, we're gonna have, also a discussion on, the lights, the radios and everything else. So I'd rather not touch Enterprise Fund because we don't know, what that's going to cost us at the time we get the vans. So if the court would be okay, I would rather take it out of contingency. That way we're not coming back and trying to hit the Enterprise Fund.
This van will be, for the main library. It's be in charge of back and forth.
Bond, Mr. Bond, would be in charge of the van. It would be parked at the library and any other errands that they need to run, whether it be for supplies or anything else, that's what it would be used for.
Motion to approve and, to get the money out of contingency.
Motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? We're all couple. Motion passes. Item 25, discussion possible action on this one here. There's also some funds that we already had in the account. 25, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of 2 laptops, 2 chairs for a total of $3,019.46 from the district attorney's office, funding from available appropriations. I think we had $1,000 in capital,
Yes.
right? So we were lacking the $2,019.46.
But is that her capital or what capital?
It was, when we do our budget, there was a line item in the budget that had all capital expenses. I'm sorry. That's where that $1,000 was at, stuff that she had put in and the court had approved in the fiscal year that we're in today. So there's a balance of $2,019.46. She does have funds available, but the funds that she has are limited as to what she can buy and use them for, especially BPU money, Operation Lone Star money, some stuff like
Supplies,
that.
don't have any supplies money?
She has funds, but, she's using them. And when I looked at her account, she might end up coming back and asking for more. Yes. She does have money. She doesn't have enough money. She might not have
I
enough
would
money.
prefer we use her money, and then if she needs money down the road, to come to the court.
Well, all capital expenditures, we usually run them through the court and we end up using our money. But it's up to y'all, whatever the court wants to do. $2,019.46 could come out of could come out of contingency. But whatever the court wants, we need a motion.
All right, I'll make the motion to approve as presented and the difference come out of a contingency.
Thank you.
second.
Commissioner Flores gave the motion, Commissioner Garcia gave the second. All in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Thank you. Item 26, discussion follow-up, rescind court order 24-820 in regards to, request for proposal 2424 elevator modernization at the district courthouse and end the contract between Vasquez Electrical and Valverde County and authorized payment of $24,785 to, Vaqueros Electrical for work performed to date. We've gone out and did a contract with these individuals. They fixed the elevator that was already there. They have some materials and stuff that are on site that we'll be able to keep in case it goes bad again. That's what the 24,000 and change. When we did this, we thought that, what we were being presented, that we would not need an elevator operator in it. But because of the doors, that we could not get doors that would actually work by themselves. And the doors that could work for themselves were not commercial. They were like for residential use and would not pass the state of Texas. We have to do away with the contract. We will be coming back to the court, and we already did, but we'll be coming back to the court after we get a proposals to build a completely new elevator on the outside of this building.
So the district courthouse has the money to pay for this?
No, they don't have funds in their budget. This is ARPA money that we set aside almost a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that those funds will be there. They were set aside and encumbered. And then now those funds are still going to be there, but the 24,000, that's where it's coming out of the funds that we'd already set aside.
Motion to approve payment, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 27, discussion possible action to accept the following donation items from San Felipe, a round table, office chairs, tables.
Motion to approve.
Commissioner Flores gave a motion. Gave a second. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries, 4-0. Item 28, discussion possible action for approval to declare the
Motion to
following.
approve.
Motion, Commissioner Flores. Second. Second. Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 29, discussion possible action reject or award bid 2571, new cabin chassis for $166,878 to M8C Kenworth for the fire department. Funding would need to be taken from general capital fire station and remaining balance from available appropriations. We talked about this. Would you be better if we just tabled this and left it alone until we figured out what we're doing with the cabin chassis that we already got?
Motion to table, Judge.
Second. And George, you came the other day, the cabin chassis that we already received. The reason we're doing this is because the cabin chassis that we'd already received, the 550, you'd said you probably need about 30,000 to outfit it. Yes. So if we table this, we'll take care of the trucks, take care of the fire station, and if we need to come back to this one, we can bring it back. You okay with that? Okay. Thank you all. And a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries, 4-0. Ernesto, you have time? 'Cause I got about 4 more items and then we can get to you if you're okay. All right. I lied, 5 more items. 30, discussion possible action regarding granting permission to the county engineer to utilize Mr. Martin Padilla's Trimble GPS base station for 2 county projects: Comstock new water tank, Vega Verde water line, and extension project. Pay?
It's up to you. He was willing to donate it for me to use.
Okay, so if the court would grant us permission to accept the donation, or if he comes back and says that he'd like to charge us a little bit, that we grant him both authority. You have money in your budget?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we accept the donation from, Mr. Padilla.
And if he
Yes, sir.
comes back and wants travel fund money or whatever, that we can do a PO and take it out of your budget. You okay with that?
Yes, sir.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Second.
Commissioner Garcia. Comstock water tank, we talked about that too. Vega Verde, we're gonna extend the line. There's already money set aside of that $1 million grant. In yours, we were talking about a 60,000 gallon tank. 60,000 gallon tank in Comstock. They were already looking at, sources.
Okay.
Okay. And pipe, we're already looking at sources. We were just gonna try to figure out, once we lay it out, 8,000 feet, right?
It was 8,800 something
Yeah,
like
something,
that.
yeah.
Judge, has the state already released the money for this project?
We have the grant, okay? As far as the money, we don't have the money in the bank yet, do we? I didn't think so. Yeah,
Okay,
so we gotta write invoices,
okay.
okay? Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Garcia, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Part of this project, it's not on here right now, but part of that grant was also precinct 2, Commissioner Vasquez, we're doing a, pumps,
Pump station.
at the tank that's already there. But it's not listed here, but that's part of this $1 million. Item 31, discussion possible action regarding authorizing the county judge to sign the Texas Department of Transportation TxDOT 2025 Transportation Alternative Detail for Senegas Road sidewalks. Motion?
Motion approved, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Is this alternative? What kind of alternatives?
Well, that's what the grant's, called. Basically, we borrowed $6 million to do the road, Leonel Boulevard, Senegas. And then this is a grant for 900 and some odd, well, it's actually gonna be more money when we get done. The first round in there was 980, somewhere like that, 1,000, to do sidewalks along, Leonel Boulevard, not on the railroad side of the track, not on the railroad side of the road, but on the opposite side of the railroad.
And this would be an extension of the sidewalk.
There's no sidewalks there. It's actually brand new
No,
sidewalks.
but this is a second grant?
No, same grant.
Okay.
We just keep talking about it, because we need to get approval after different steps that we're taking. It's government. Are we good?
There's one thing that was mentioned during the grant process about it being near schools. Carl, if this thing doesn't go through because there's no school around there, can we realign it and do it near a school?
We applied for this grant here because we couldn't get together and to apply for the other grants, because one of the things along going to Chavita that you brought up, the problem with that one is it's alongside that highway and it doesn't go anywhere. You can bring it in, but you couldn't take it anywhere. So the one that we looked at that would get the most points because of the amount of people it would be servicing that would actually attach to where we were gonna run the sidewalk was, along, Leonel Boulevard, Leonel Martinez Boulevard, ¿verdad? So this is the one that does it. So each application would have to be separate. If this one fails to pass, we can't say, okay, can we just switch the money
If
over?
it fails, it's gone.
It's gone. We'll have to reapply later for something else. That work?
I understand.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Carl. Was I okay with that?
My only comment is that, Carlos is working up the budget. Originally, it was about 900,000, maybe a little plus. But I wanted to ensure the county that Valverde County is eligible for transportation development credits. So the 20% match will be made up by TxDOT at no, cost to the county's time. So we've got considerable, want to thank Commissioner Flores. He's gone above and beyond and got a lot of community support over there and a lot of letters of support. So I think we'll have one or two more. The deadline to submit is Friday. And so we'll have it all packaged, put together and submit to TxDOT about 5 p.m. Friday. Yeah.
Okay. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Thank you. Item 32, discussion possible action to authorize county judge to sign a letter of support to the city of Del Rio for the Defense Community Infrastructure Program grant application through the Office of Local Defense, Community Cooperation and Support.
Motion to approve, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Commissioner Garcia, any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 33, discussion possible action to authorize the county judge to sign a letter of support to the city of Del Rio for its installation readiness grant application through the Office of Local Defense Community Operations in support of the city of Del Rio.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. This one here is the water line.
That's for the study, for the water
For the study.
distribution, yes.
They presented us, and hopefully they already presented it to council, and I'll say something I shouldn't have said. Greg, Janice, in a meeting, with Carlos and myself, they presented us with a plan for, another water line also to go to the base. They're working on, a new water well. And probably some of the information that we were presented, if that information is true, which I don't believe that I would doubt it, a lot of the information that we were given with all the studies that we had before, the county paid for, city paid for, a lot of that information is probably wrong. If what the information that we were presented with, as soon as, he presents it to council, he said they would bring it to us so we could look at, the water source, the city of Del Rio's water source, and where they believe they're getting water and how that's running, and also the line that would help with the base and that ultimately would end up helping the SE range through there. I'm sorry. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 34, discussion possible action to authorize the county judge to sign a letter of support to the city of Del Rio Defense.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 35, discussion possible action to authorize the to letter of support to City of Del Rio for the Defense Economic Adjustment
Motion to
Grant.
approve.
Is this a place that's gonna be constructed? Or upgraded? What is,
That's a facility built, the city's applying to build on base as the HPTC center. It's the third time that we
I
applied
was
for
fixing
it.
to say, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna give a letter of support, hope it happens, but, I don't know why they would give it to us this time, because I haven't seen anything that would, different than what we've already done the other times. But they wanna apply for it this time, support it. Yeah.
second,
I have a motion, Commissioner
It's actually
Flores.
the fourth time, Judge.
Yeah.
Fourth
Thank you.
time.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I'd seen that she'd come up with another project, but it's okay. We're gonna stand behind it. We have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 36, discussion possible action potential on the potential for allowing multiple electric meters to be installed on a single property for residential and rental properties. The discussion will consider compliance with the applicable provisions of the Texas Model Subdivision Rules and the need for clear guidelines in subdivisions where more than one structure or electrical service connection is required. We've had several people, since I've been judge, that have come, to ask for more than 1 meter on a piece of property. Where the variance would come into is if it's under 10 acres. Over 10 acres, then there's not really a big problem. They can put multiple meters, they can do multiple septic tanks as long as, they can do that. Are you getting bored?
A little bit.
Let's get into it. But where this, yeah, just a little bit, right? But where the variance would come in, is if you have a piece of property that you have half acre, 2 acres, or anything under 10 acres, let's just, I guess, just blanket it. If you're building, if you're able to build, multiple structures on the facility and you're gonna rent them or commercial use, give them the opportunity to put a meter on each one of them. It's really hard to rent a facility, a building, and different buildings to different people and have the same meter. This would give an opportunity to individuals to be able to rent those facilities or a commercial building. And if it's one piece of property that's under 10 acres, give them the ability to put meters.
Judge, I will make a motion to approve, giving permission to property owners to have more than one, electrical meter and to comply with the model subdivision rules.
So at the moment that we're issuing a letter for connection, and there's already a second structure, it's out of compliance of the model subdivision rule. So if you want to give them a second meter, will be like a non-residential meter. And
Okay. I didn't get a second, so we can continue to talk. And we've had this conversation. There has to be a way for these people when they have an apartment or have a house and they're living in the front and they want to rent the back room, build a room in the back and rent it because they have enough property. And how would you feel comfortable in that we comply because the court can? What would be the wording? How would you feel comfortable?
I feel, Judge, like we just need to come up with a set of rules, and I mean, if we feel that the court can allow that, I'm okay with that, but just we just need to have a new.
Well, let's
set
do
of
this.
rules.
Let's do this.
Can I argue the other side?
Of course.
Okay. So I'm against this because I'm having this problem in Lake Ridge already where people are wanting multiple meters or they have a house with a building in the barn in the back where they're running a mechanic shop and the neighbors are livid because up and down the street, there's 18-wheelers going up and down the road and the traffic it's too much. So I don't want in those small, like they're 1 acre tracts for there to be multiple meters because it just creates havoc with the neighbors. And I don't think they need a variance or the ability to even get a variance. They bought a residential lot with 1 acre. They knew that going in. They got a copy of the deed restrictions and they need to live with them. They don't need to come to us and ask for a variance because they bought something knowing full well what the restrictions were of 1 meter per lot. And I think what they're doing is they're trying to build a commercial building on a residential spot for cheap because they already own the land. Well, no, they need to go out and buy something on the highway, run your business there. You want to have apartments, residential rental? Go buy a residential multifamily lot and go build it. But don't go build something that's multifamily or commercial in a residential area. I think that's bad for the neighborhood. I think it's bad for everyone's property values. It creates what we call inharmonious land use, and it's bad for everybody. And it's bad for traffic, and it's just not safe.
And I can tell you where we're having issues right now. I have people in Valverde Park. I have people in Ciénegas. I have people in Chaparral, Vega Verde, Escondido, and they want to build residential. What I'm getting at is residential. I said commercial, but I've not had anybody come right now for commercial. What they've been is residential. The county doesn't have, cannot enforce deed restrictions. We don't have the capacity to enforce deed restrictions.
That's between private property.
Yes, but it would give these individuals an opportunity to put multiple residential structures to rent. All right? So
They're already being built. I mean,
well, my deal is though that again, you're looking at both sides.
yeah.
You knew the deed restrictions when you went in, but I think that we should allow them. Your area is a little bit different, and if you want to write them out, we write them out. But there has to be a way that we can allow certain areas to do it, certain areas not to. I would think. I mean, but that's going to be a question y'all will have to answer.
I think the key, Judge, is going to be, are we in compliance with the model subdivision rules? Because the areas that you talked about are all colonias. You know,
And that's like I'm never written.
And exactly. And in order for us to apply for and continue to get grants for the colonias, we have to be in compliance with the model subdivision rules.
Well,
And again,
the thing that I see right now is like, there in Ciénegas, there's one gentleman, built a bunch of apartments. And you could say 1 lot. So he's got different meters for each apartment because they're 1-bedroom apartments. And we got several of those, you know, doing that. And, we're approving that. We're giving them a letter of compliance. How does that work? And right now they're building those 4 new ones right there. 1-bedroom.
6.
Or 6 of them. And we're giving them a letter of compliance for each apartment to have a meter.
Can I make a comment on that one? I'm pretty sure the city's allowing that too because they can.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but we need to fix this because this ain't right. I mean, in the city or the county, that's county, so we need to fix it, not the city.
What I would suggest, Judge, is that we table this issue, give us an opportunity to sit down with Carlos, sit down with the judge.
But before we table it, I'd like for everybody to talk. That way you have an idea of what, if everybody's done, then we're done.
Technically, point of order, we shouldn't have a discussion unless we have
A motion?
a motion and.
You want to give a motion?
I'll give a motion to table it.
I'll second that.
Okay, so it's going to be a tie, so it's going to end up being tabled.
Yeah,
Right.
but even though the discussion or the motion was to table, second to table, we can still have a discussion before you take the vote on the motion to table.
Can I make comment?
No, that's how come I didn't want it to go away. I wanted to comment.
Yeah.
So Commissioner, are these areas that are in your precinct in the Amistad zoning?
I believe so.
Yes, all of them.
So, I mean, there's that too.
No, we have, and that's how come I'm saying it's different.
It would vary there. I mean,
Yes, it doesn't cover
We
the
have
whole
this
county.
conversation.
The other thing is, we struggle very hard to maintain our county roads with our little budgets. And those roads he's talking about are getting hammered
Yes.
with those 18-wheelers. So I didn't think about that. Mechanic shop with 18-wheelers, that's different than pickups.
But again, we don't have the authority to go out there and tell them,
You can build an apartment, but not a shop.
no, we don't have the authority to tell them not to build a shop. We do have the authority and I'm gonna side with you on this, we do have the authority not to give them the meter.
Right.
And I think we don't get rid of that, through Amistad zoning. And then it still has to come back before the court. So I mean, the conversation could be just ongoing, we'd be here all afternoon.
Right.
What I think David said and what Carlos wants to get to is what would be allowable and then bring it back to the court. If we come up with a policy or a set of rules that this is what you can actually vote on and pass, then it's up to us to pass it or deny it.
And I can exempt precinct 3?
I would. And let's follow Amistad zoning.
Well, I'd rather do both. If we can
Well,
exempt
either
that
way-
precinct from the model subdivision rules for our county, and then I also have Amistad.
You don't want to exempt it from the model subdivision rules. You want to follow the rules, and you also want to follow Amistad zoning.
Okay.
I would think.
Okay, but my problem is that if we give these people an out, they're gonna try to take it. Even though I have this, what you tell me is a stopgap that Amistad in zoning,
And the court.
and the court, but I really think that this is gonna create more trouble than it's worth. Because, like I said, being a real estate appraiser, one of the things we look at is the land use in this neighborhood. And what you don't want is residential and commercial multifamily all mixed in the same area, right? That's why we have zoning to begin with. We have,
But you have zoning.
like in the city, okay? But see, but what that does is that's to protect the property owner and their value of the property they have, right? So you don't want residential mixed with commercial, you don't want it mixed with multifamily. And a good example is like the old Giddy buffer that's there at Amistad and Kingsway. That's what you call an inharmonious land use. That was a commercial property put there, and it's never functioned well as a convenience store because it's a residential area. And what that does is that just creates commercial traffic in a residential area. It makes things more difficult for pedestrians to get around. It's not good. And it lowers the property values of the residences around it when you have a commercial entity there, right? So, one example, I just drove by on Owens Drive. There's houses and there's a car lot. There's residential, and there's like 3 lots or 2 lots, and some guy just put a car lot there. Well, if you live next to a car lot, your property's not gonna be as valuable as if it was.
And there's nothing that we can do about the car lot.
I understand that.
Absolutely nothing.
But by granting more meters on a residential lot, you're encouraging behavior that's not beneficial to the neighborhood.
But you can't control it.
We can't.
You cannot.
Okay, let's do
We,
this.
the county have no building, restrictions. And a commercial lot will have more value than a residential lot any time of the day.
I didn't argue that point.
Well, no, you're not.
You're not understanding, I'm talking about commercial
Let's do
buildings in residential areas.
Let's
That's
do this.
different than what I said.
Let's do this. We have a motion to table. If part of that motion would be that we instruct, if you don't mind, county attorneys and Carlos to bring us something back, that would work, and then we take a vote on it at that time. That way, we're just not sitting here to keep talking, and we're really not voting on anything. If you have apartments, I'm gonna ask one more question. If you have a lot, and you build apartments on it, I can still get meters for that apartment.
What we've been doing in the past, Judge, and I understand Commissioner Floyd's concern on different apartments. If it's the same structure, they can.
So so if you build
You attach them.
if you
Yes.
build a breezeway,
Yeah.
because I know that we've actually built a breezeway between a
Yes.
house and a mobile home.
Yeah.
And got 2 meters, I was contracted when I was building stuff to build a breezeway, a 5-foot wide roof, from the house to the deal.
So
I
tying
could
both
get another
roofs.
meter.
Tying both roofs.
You just connect it.
But I also know, we're not the only county that is struggling with these regulations. Other counties, Maverick is the same deal, they have the same regulations.
But bottom line is, if you attach it, you get your second meter.
Because it will be considered you're doing a master connection or master meter, and then you.
Well, that might be the way some of these people that call, that they can get past this today.
Yeah.
And then if y'all will look to check and see what is it that we could present to the court and see what the court wants to do or not do.
I think we need to be more flexible with property owners. I mean, you as a property owner, you have the right to construct, especially out in the county, and we have no building restrictions, to build what you're gonna build. You're not gonna build an eyesore, for sure, because we'll stop them, I mean, we won't let them. But I think they should have the right to have more than 1 meter.
Okay. Now, I have a motion on the table. You gave the motion?
I made a motion.
You made the motion, you gave the second.
Right.
A motion on the table to table. Commissioner Wardlaw gave the motion. Commissioner Garcia gave the second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. All right. Okay. Item 37, discussion of possible action to amend the proposed hours of operation plan for the target range to general public. The amended plan proposes hours of operation for the general public from Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. What this is doing is we've done 3 days, now we're going to 5 days. 9 to 4. Part of that plan also, if we need to later on, if the court will give us permission to amend, that if for any day that there's a special event, 4-H has a special event, that the court allows us with this motion to make that day up for the general public. Carl?
So you may recall back some time ago, the court approved 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So at the end of the day, the agency took a good look at that, and basically their comment was, for the amount of investment that they're making towards the facility, 1.5 million grant, they didn't feel like that the general public was getting enough hours to be able to use the facility. So they said it was questionable that the funding would be, at the end of the day, approved for the construction part. So that's why we're coming back to the court and asking them to do 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. And on Saturdays, it would be non-public, but be used for the youth, 4-H, events, whatever. They don't consider that public, okay? It's separate apart from public. So at 5 days a week, from 9 to 4, the grant is a 90-10. At 5 days a week, from 9 to 4, they will reimburse the grant amount at 83%, not 90%. Because they've got a ratio. We didn't find any of this out until here just at the end of the day. But with this plan, they will reimburse up to 83% rather than 90. I guess if you went from 8 to 5 or had 1 day on the weekend, well, then maybe it'd go up to 90%. But at this plan, it's 83%.
Yes, sir. I don't know anybody that can go to the range between 9 and 4 o'clock. You know what? I don't know anybody that can go to the range between 9 and 4 o'clock.
Well, they're going to have to get up early.
Well, I mean, Monday to Friday, it's work time.
Yeah.
Is there any way to be closed on Monday and have it open on Sunday afternoon?
But that's the deal. They want to see the opportunity there for the public to be able to go in and shoot.
Okay. Let's do this, Carl. Could we sit with them and check and see how we could get to the 90%? And you know, maybe throw out some more hours to them and see how we could get to the 90%, and open those days up, you know, and visit with them. Could we maybe sit down and do that?
Judge, I just wanted to say, the 4-H shooting team, they might shoot on Saturdays, but I think that's like when it's a competitive shoot. When they do all their practices, it'll be after this 4 o'clock. They'll be wanting to go in there in the evenings during the week. That's when they practice. And it's maybe, I don't know how often they do a competitive shoot. But that's when we would have to close it just for that shoot. But on those Saturdays, the 4-H shooting team's not going to be going down there. They shoot in the evenings during the week, just like soccer practice or baseball practice. Same thing.
I agree. But if we could get an idea of what hours they would be comfortable us opening, and then we can get with the 4-H and look at their hours and then try to work that together. And that way it helps us on that other, between 83 and 90%.
Yeah, I did the math. I couldn't know how they came up with 83, but I've had the email that said based on that, it would reimburse up to 83%. Okay, so on June 30th, this grant closes. It's done. Okay? So we're in the closeout process, and this agreement is part of the closeout process.
Okay, because now we have to have a resolution. We have to have a vote by the court.
Yeah.
Between now and then. It isn't that they vote to give me authority to sign if we can come up with hours. It's a vote by the court that we've already set something in stone.
Yeah. The judge would, so the term agreement that we have before you this morning, the judge needs to sign that. We already uploaded it and letting the Department of the Interior and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife, because they all got money in this project. So we've already sent this to them for them to cast their eyes on it and kind of see, where they're at with it. But the word I've gotten, and I got the email, said based on this, it's going to be 83% maximum reimbursement of the 90%.
Okay, so just so the court understands, and I understand me as well, when you're saying that, it's an 83% reimbursement to what dollars? To what dollar? To the 1.2 that's still there, or the whole construction cost? I mean, what is it that they're looking at?
I mean, just say it's $1 million at the end of the day, and they were going to originally reimburse the county $900,000.
And I get that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we have a $1.3 million still in the grant. This project's going to come. We set aside another $1.5 million that we borrowed. So are they going to reimburse only 83% of whatever money was left in the grant?
Yes.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yes. Yeah. The grant has a maximum amount. Right. So we used about $200,000 for the planning. It's a 90-10. We used, about $200,000 in the planning grant to do the design in that. At the end of the day, they reimbursed 90% of that, about $180,000, and the county had about a $20,000 match.
And that was the what'd you call it, error or whatever in the accounting report, in the audit.
Oh.
Yeah, that was it.
And so if there's, say, a little over $1 million left in there, with a 90% reimbursement would be about $900,000, and the county's match would be, and the county's going to have adequate and more match than what the grant requires at the end of the day. But as far as the reimbursement amount, based on the hours of public use, it'd be 83% instead of 90%.
Okay. And at the end of the day, I mean, we get this done at the 83%, whatever. We can always bring it back to the court if we feel like we want to, after the grant's done, we can always bring it back to the court and open it up to the general public for more hours. The whole thing right now is to get the grant, get them happy.
We need to schedule.
Exactly, and I tried to have conversations with the agency saying, look, it's kind of new to us. We're just kind of, getting our feet on the ground on this new facility, maintaining it, operating it, constructing it. And so, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be some modifications to the operation of it. So I would think, we're just.
But, and I'm going to ask another stupid question, but I'm used to it. If the grant's 1.2 million and the thing comes in at 2.5 million, why can't I keep my 1.2 million? Why would they give me a grant for 1.2 if they're only going to give me 83% of the 1.2? Does that make sense? I just talk circles. But my deal is if I've got a $1.2 million in grant money and they say, well, it's 83%, well, you're just going to give 83% of what you already gave me and then I got to give the rest of it back? Why can't I take the 2.5 million that I'm fixing to spend and you give me all my 1.2? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Because
It does, because you're saying I spent 2 point whatever
Yes,
million.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So my question is, they're going to reimburse 83% of what's left in the grant? Or is that what he's saying?
Yes.
Okay, and my,
83% up to 1.2 million.
I hope that's what it is. If that's what it is, then we're good.
no.
Now, does
Okay,
it make sense?
so I still haven't got an answer, Carl. How much is left in the grant that we're gonna get 83% of?
How much is left in the grant?
Currently,
1,200,000.
Okay. Are what you're telling me is we're gonna spend how much,
Okay,
2 point
currently-
whatever?
it's about 1.3.
1.3,
It's not right. 1.3 is a good round number.
okay, and how much are we gonna spend?
2.5 or 2.8. Put 2.8 because you take the 1.3 plus the 1.5 to 2.8. You already got bids on this, right?
Yes,
Okay. Did we open it?
yes,
Do we know what dollars are?
we do.
Can you tell us?
No.
Why?
Because it's a request for proposal, so they're gonna be based on scoring. They're gonna be ranked.
So we didn't open them in the general public.
We did, but I did not disclose any dollar.
Okay. I have a problem with that. So we probably need to talk afterwards. There has to be, I don't want to be questioned that we open something and then tell everybody what the
I
hell they were
explained the
doing.
process to them. and-
I understand. I'm not really too concerned about them right now. I'm trying to get it in my mind that we opened something and didn't tell them, and I don't want to be questioned that, yeah, okay, David.
So, Judge, the 4-H shooting team, the 4-H shooting coach, we haven't talked to them? We haven't,
Yeah, he's been sitting in almost every meeting that we had on design, and he was here.
okay, we need that schedule. They probably have the schedules, the Saturdays, the evenings that they shoot, they probably shoot in the evenings. And I want to make a motion that we give you the ability to approve this after applying the 4-H shooting schedule to these hours.
That probably won't work and that's what I was getting at a little while ago, because I started to say that, and then when Carl started to talk, he said that I needed something from the court. We need to adopt these hours, a resolution from the court to adopt these hours, and then we can come back and adjust it, because if it's 83% of whatever the heck we're spending, it really don't matter.
We're still okay.
Yeah, it don't matter.
So my question is, if we lose the 7% because we don't have enough hours, do we have available appropriations to still complete the project?
I'm sure that I could find funds.
Oh, then I don't have a problem, let's just keep the hours that we told them.
Yeah, if we go to the 9 to 4, we already know that we'll be at 83% of what it costs. We have up to $1.2 million, and it's less than 50% of the whole project. So we should be fine.
Yeah, I'm good, as long as we know we can finish the project at 83%,
We'll
let's just
finish
do
the
it.
project. We'll finish the project even if we have to have chicken plate sales. We good? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I have a motion, Fernando, Commissioner Garcia, I'm sorry. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Thank y'all so much. Appreciate it. Okay, item 38, discuss possible action to authorize the county agents to hire a temporary, clerical help for 3 months. The clerk that is there,
She's back,
she's back.
but he just wanted to keep that.
Let's go ahead and, the court had approved this once before. And the monies are, basically he has in his budget anyway, because when she leaves, those funds can be used.
Yeah.
All right? So there's no money coming out of the budget. It's just, he would like to have permission to hire somebody if she goes to leave again. That way he's not
Exactly.
out a clerk or somebody in the office, especially since they only have one.
Lady pregnant or what?
No.
Cannot discuss anything on it.
No,
No.
we're not being very transparent with this. I mean,
We
it's just-
can't.
And that's fine. I mean, the
because-
thing is that, we already have
What
one
we
there.
can tell you is that she might have a need to leave again. And at that point, Tommy, Mr. Eater, would like to have the opportunity to hire a temporary,
He has money in his budget.
that would be part of his budget.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, and Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0. You're up next. Now the hard one comes up. We saved the hard one. That other stuff was real easy. Item 39, discussion possible action on the proposal, TAC Health Employment Benefits. You're up.
Thanks for teeing us up.
We got everybody all riled up. You should be fine.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Ernesto Martinez, Employee Benefits Consultant for Valverde County with the Texas Association of Counties, and we're here with Mark Zolich, who's your wellness consultant. So this is the time of year where the renewal is out for your health benefits, your dental, and your life coverages as well. Just to give you a little background on how the pool was performing for this upcoming year. The pool looked at, we're seeing a lot of high-cost claimants. A lot of them were due to cancer, so there's a lot of cancers within the pool and everything. The pool needed, the average increase that is needed for the pool came out to 6%. So what the pool does, just to give you some information, what the pool does, the pool looks at 12 months of data for all of our members in our pool, okay? And once they look at the data, they look at the loss ratios and everything, and they come up with the number that it's going to be needed, but with the average increase will be needed for the pool. So everybody in our pool starts off at a 6%, and then from there we look at every member individually. We look at their loss ratios, we look at their demographic factor, whether you're a young group or you're an older group, and we also look at your area factors as well. So with that said, Valverde County on the medical, on the summary of your renewal, the medical comes in at a 10.7% increase because the county, looking at your loss claims, we definitely collected less contribution, but we're collecting the county to pay out your claims. We paid out almost close to approximately $1.1 million in claims versus what we collected in contribution. Okay, so you do have some high cost claimants that are happening right now. So that 10.7% is what we're projecting with what we're going to need to collect in contributions to pay out on the projected claims for this upcoming renewal. On the dental plan, it comes at a 4.5% increase. Pardon me, on the medical, just to give you some numbers, Judge and Commissioners, that with that 10.7 increase on the employee only, since you contribute 100% on the employee only contribution, that's going to be about approximately $72.70 per employee. Okay.
And what that amounts to is a $294,871 increase from last year this year.
Yes.
With the employees, with the 300, right here, with the 338 people that we have booked today.
Yes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, good. And with the current dental plan, the rate increase comes out to 4.5%. The average increase on the dental for the whole pool was 9.9%. So you definitely came in much lower than the average increase. So,
but we made it up.
Yes, I know. So that comes out to about 64 cents more per employee starting October 1st for the dental plan, if you renew with the current plan. As far as life coverages, there was no increase on the life, okay? And I'm just going through this, I don't know what you have in front of you, I'm just going through the renewal packet, if that's what you have in front of you. There's just boxes that need to be checked off, Judge, and Commissioners, for you to look at as well. The employee self-service information, I already have talked to HR, told them anything about that. They wanted to go ahead and continue to not allow the online changes. Your retiree, you allow retirees to stay on your medical, dental, and then you have a basic retiree life coverage. They can stay on to up to age 65. Okay, your waiting period, as far as your medical, dental, and your life coverages, it's a date of hire for your employees, and same for your elected officials. All right, COBRA administration is currently being administered through Blue Cross Blue Shield. That is going away, and starting October 1st, we are offering COBRA administration to be administered through TAC, and through us, it's under WW Benefit Connect. And there are different fees from what the current fees are for the Cobra administration. The fee starting October 1st, if the county continues or wants to continue with the Cobra administration, with TAC, it's just a $20 fee for each notification that goes out. So anytime there's a termination, anybody who loses coverage, it's just $20 to administer the Cobra. And what does that mean? The Benefits Connect will send out the notifications. If anybody elects to elect Cobra, they will, the Benefit Connections will be collecting those premiums. So basically, it takes a lot of the work out of HR's hands and for them to help administer this. Okay, so anytime anybody who loses coverage, it will be $20 per whoever loses coverage. It could be a dependent, it could be an employee, it could be a spouse. So anytime it loses coverage, it would be $20. Okay? We do not have no broker consultant. We have the member contact designation, so we do have the contract authority as Juanita Morado, and we have billing as Matt Weingart, your current auditor, and of course the county representative is Juanita, HR. You can make any changes to that if you want to, and also with the wellness coordinators as well. You have HR Juanita and Alexa Castillo as your wellness sponsors and coordinator as well. Something that we do want to bring to your attention, I'm going to let Mark talk to this, is a HIPAA certification, and it has to, we're bringing this out, this is new, simply because it's involved wellness information that we give back to the county.
Right, so we just want to make sure that you have your bases covered and we have our bases covered. This is just a brief agreement stating that those people who receive either protected health information or just personal information relative to benefits and wellness, that they're covered by an agreement with the county. So it's pretty basic boilerplate. There's nothing to be alarmed about. But our legal counsel has advised us that this needs to be in place with our counties in order for us to be able to share that protected health information with counties. And that's it. All counties are being required to sign it, just as at the level of protection for you as well as for us. And that's really all there is. But the one agreement covers anybody and everybody who would have access to that.
One of the things that we thought we were going to have to vote on it today. We got an extension to go to July 2nd. This coming to us with some more information. That way, if y'all have questions between now and the next meeting, they're going to give us up to the next. They wanted us to do it today, but they granted us an extension to do it in July. It's a lot. And I'll hand out some stuff right now that Matt wants us to look at. Most of our dollars, our claims, I guess, the highest one is with people that are retired. And we're still paying for it. I can say that. Already said it.
I don't think there's no.
But the way our insurance works, if you're able to retire before you're 65, the county pays for your insurance until you're 65. So again, if you're able to retire before you're 65, the number of years of service plus your age, if you get to 75, don't stop me if I jump off. It's not right. But the county pays for it. So we have people that are retired 40 some odd years old. Their health insurance is being paid for until they're 65. So that's part of one of the benefits that when you come to work for the county, if you're able to retire before you're 65, we pick up the insurance until you're 65. So the cost, we had a meeting earlier, and we've had meetings before. It's going to be a $300,000 or $200,000 increase from this fiscal year to next fiscal year to keep the same plan that we have. Matt would want us to look at another plan. The deductibles are a lot higher, but we would, depending on how many people join in different areas, because you have employee, then you have employee with a kid, with a spouse, employee with a child, employee with children, and employee with a spouse and children. So those are the categories that you can go in there and pick which insurance you want. The insurance that Matt would want us to look at, if you have more people join, if they were to stay the same in those same categories, it'd be about $377,000. It wouldn't be a savings, because that money, we would put it into an account to help with the deductibles, because the deductibles are HRA.
Yes.
That's what I wrote. Hopefully that's right. An HRA, I think you even mentioned something like that the last meeting. We would put that money in an account, and then that would help with the deductibles, because the deductibles would be so much more higher than the plan that we're in right now. If we pull away from the plan that we have right now, because it is a grandfathered plan, we can't go back. Okay, so if we jump away from this one, we won't be able to go back. One of the plans, and I'll give this to you, one of the plans that he came up with, or the plan, it's a 15%, that we end up paying 15% more. It's on the front page. It's the one that's circled. Within that plan, I asked Juanita, and Juanita came up with a plan, and she sent out a survey. I appreciate it, but I like bacon. Sent out a survey, and to see how many people would add their kids. There's a plan on there that the county pays for everything, and you get to add your kids, and there's no cost if you add one kid, there's no cost. If you have multiple kids, you're only paying like $77 a month. The only thing is, though, that we end up paying more premium, and there's no way really to give you good numbers on what all that would cost, because we don't know who's going to be joining. So the $377,000 that we would end up saving, I guess, but it's not really a savings, because we're going to put it somewhere else. And where it might help us later is that if you put enough people on the plan that don't use the plan, then our dollars that we use go down. How would you explain that?
No, it's just by adding more dependents, dependents tend to be more healthier, okay? And the more healthier belly buttons, I guess you could say, that are on your plan, it helps, keeps costs down. The dependents, where we see where more people that raise the cost is with their spouses. Spouses tend to be a little bit more expensive, but dependents, adding children on actually helps. On an underwriting perspective, it does help with your plan, because there's more healthier, there's less, your loss ratio tends to go down. So this is a pilot program that we are throwing out for TAC. We currently have 2 counties that are doing this pilot program, Hopkins County and Novato County, and they both they're going on to their second year in the pilot program, and they've seen a tremendous increase in their dependents being added on the plan, and their loss ratio actually went down. Okay, so but that can vary every year. Okay, because when you're adding more people to your plan as well, there could be a high cost claim.
That's what scares me. It's real hard to come up with numbers as to what it's going to cost us later on. The other scary part is that once we leave the plan that we're at, can't go back.
And we can't even change the deductible on the plan we're at?
Well,
We have to keep it 100%.
Deductible, we can change plans, and that was
okay.
in your packet that he handed out. There's different plans on there with different deductibles on that sheet that he handed out.
Gotcha.
So we can change the plan. Just your deductibles, most of them, one of them let's just say the one that's at $250 goes to $1,000, right? And the one on the other side, out of network, that's $1,000 goes to $4,000 or $3,000, something like that.
Yes, so there's these alternate plans. If you do not look at the dependent pilot program at all, you just want to change your plan, there's an alternate plan proposal where option 1, from a $250 deductible to a $750. The reason why we put that in there, because that's where you're going to see the next step of increasing your deductible, where you're actually going to see some savings. Okay, so as you can see, your renewals are 10.7%. If you kept your renewal rates with the same plan, it's $750, $260. is what the county will be paying. But if you go to the $750 deductible, which is like $500 more cost to the employee to pay out of pocket before the insurance pays, you can see the premium does go down to $711.40. Okay, if you go into a higher deductible, you see additional savings as well. But just keep in mind, when you do change your plan, you can see some savings in your premium, but on the back end, your employees are paying a little bit more out of pocket because they're paying a little bit higher deductible and out-of-pocket maximum.
And the other question is, how many people, on one of the reports that was given to me, Juanita, correct me if I'm wrong, there were 74 people that had used it. That's correct? On one of the white papers that you gave me a while back, that you had 74 people that actually used the insurance. The rest of the 338 really, other than medicine, really don't reach those deductibles.
So the $41 a month savings really isn't worth it?
I don't think so. But, it's one of those deals, that's how come I'm not asking, I don't want y'all to take a vote. Y'all can if y'all want, do whatever you want to, but since they gave us the extension, it would be nice if y'all had questions to be able to ask. But it seems like the more that in the position that I'm in, every time that I ask more questions, I got more answers.
Right.
And then just got really, really, really confused. And you don't have enough numbers from who would be joining if we went to the other plans, and because the first number you see is a $377,000.
Right.
That you're not gonna have to spend, but you're gonna put it aside because the deductible's higher. So you really didn't save it. And then you get to where, if you get where they want to add their spouse and their kids, then it's costing you more money now than the $752. So how many people are going to add the spouse and the kids? And how many people that have kids and don't have a spouse are going to add them? We go from 808 with all children to 888 if they add the spouse and the kids from 752. So if you had those numbers, then you could say, well, we don't have those numbers.
Like I said, roughly about 24% of the population on the plan are meeting their deductibles.
Right.
Yeah.
So if we raise it from $250 to $750, that's gonna go even less.
Possible.
Yeah.
Possible. It all depends.
And the county would save $41 a month per person. Yeah.
We've already.
So it's kind of like, what's the benefit of insurance if you're not meeting your deductible? I'd rather, at least have it lower so they can use their insurance, meet their deductible, and benefit from it.
I'm sorry.
One potential drawback of raising the deductible too much, so especially if you went to 1,000, is the possibility that then employees are putting off care because they don't want to pay that, and then they wait until it becomes a catastrophic 6 or 7 figure claim because they don't want to meet the deductible. Everything's straight up.
You're just not telling the truth.
Then it costs us more.
Right, there's pros and minuses,
And I can tell you with the budget that we have right now, and with the expenses within the budget for 25-26, they're pretty much set. And that's that the budget that I will present to y'all, on the commissioner side, nobody got anything, and we've already had this conversation. And the reason I'm going to say this is to put this into perspective, the $377,000. Commissioners didn't receive anything other than, we've had this conversation, precinct 2 and precinct 4. And then next fiscal year, precinct 1 and precinct 3 would receive more money per miles of road. So precinct 2 and precinct 4 received, I think it's like $190,000 between the both, because that's how many miles they have, $1,000 per mile of road. No changes in personnel, other than the fire department ended up with more people that he's having a hard time hiring anyway. But in 2 or 3 years, maybe we can get to where we have a staff of firemen. That's pretty much what we're doing. Naturally, we did the raises, the 3%. For the ones that were working 37 and a half hours, plus we added another 130 hours at whatever the rate was before. And then law enforcement got 5%, and some people, most everybody else that was already working 40 got a 4%. After we do all that, and
and really guessing at the revenue because we don't have certified totals on our tax values. We're $3,555,000 upside down. Okay. So, but that is already with, the insurance increase. Not only for the medical, but also for the dental. That's already been put into the 3.5. Okay. Now, in order to keep our 87 days in fund balance, the 60 some odd thousand that we needed per day because our expenses went up to 70 some odd days. So we went from 5.8 million to over $6 million that we have to have in fund balance. So our fund balance going back into, our beginning fund balance needs to be about 9.6, almost $10 million going in next year in order to keep what I'm going to present to you.
Right.
But y'all's, getting back to insurance, that insurance is already, the high number's already in there. And like we were talking earlier, even if we were to pick a lower one, we would still want to do something to help with the deductible to where we get to where people use the insurance. If they need it, it'll end up costing us more at the end of it because they didn't get treated in time. So whatever savings we have, it's not going to be put in a bucket so we can go use. It's going to be put in a bucket in order for the individual that needs it for their deductibles, for them to be able to use it for their deductibles.
Yeah. And we have
that way we don't run into what Mark just said.
Right. But we have other counties who are doing that. They have gone from like a $250, $500 deductible and increased it to a higher deductible. And the difference in what that the employee has to pay their deductible up front first, and then they get reimbursed. Mm-hmm. Okay, so, but yes, we have other counties that are doing the exact same thing as well too. And they went to that jump simply because they needed to meet their budget. They saw the savings, and it was worth making the move. And so far, they haven't. A lot of the counties that are in West Texas that we manage, they have not changed from it, and they've been doing that for about 4 or 5 years. So,
and one of the things that we talked about also was that, you know, that fund that you put over to one side, you almost want to leave it alone. Don't touch it. It's going to build up because at the point that you do have something that go sadly wrong,
yep,
you have the money in order to help them forward.
Yeah. So I did
COVID 2027. Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah. The only other thing I wanted to bring to the court's attention about the change that's going to be across the board for the pool. Navitus Solutions, which is our pharmacy benefit manager, came to us with some possible savings due to the increasing cost of pharmaceutical drugs. We can all agree that drugs are out of control. The cost of drugs is out of control. So Navitus Solutions came to us for an opportunity to save some money for the pool, and our board had elected to change to a little bit more limited network for pharmacies. So starting October 1st, CVS pharmacies, Kroger, United Pharmacies, and Albertson Pharmacies will no longer be in the network. Okay, so you can still go to these pharmacies to fill a prescription, but you'll be paying out of pocket. So if you go to one of those pharmacies, you just have to change your pharmacy. Okay, that is in network. All right, and we can work with HR on getting a list of that. But anyone who currently are going to those CVS pharmacies or these other pharmacies right now, Navitus is going to be sending a letter to them 30 days before October 1st, so that way they can be properly notified in writing, and that gives them an opportunity to change a pharmacy before they have to fill a new prescription. Yeah. So we are notifying those. It was about 12% disruption. It came out to about maybe 7,000. No, about 5,000 members that it affected compared to the overall pool. So we have a little bit over 50,000 lives in our pool. So about 12% of them will be affected by this change. And like I said, Navitus is working with them to help them find a pharmacy as well.
Walgreens, HEB, still in there.
They're all still in network as well too. Local pharmacy, how many local pharmacies do y'all have in town? They should still remain in.
We have Walmart, HEB.
Walmart, HEB.
CVS, which is now no longer.
Well, at Walgreens, you'll have Walgreens? Yes. Yeah, Walgreens too.
Oh, we closed.
Yeah.
I thought CVS stayed open and Walgreens closed. Is that what you said?
Walgreens closed, CVS is open.
CVS is open. Okay.
So we got 3, right?
Yeah, so Walmart and H-E-B would still be covered, right?
Yes, sir.
That's good. It's pretty sad when they know you by name, right? Hey, you come to pick up your whatever.
It's okay. I mean, people trust their pharmacists. You know, they go to those pharmacies because they trust their pharmacists and everything. 'Cause they know they're being taken care of. But unfortunately, with the market out there, what pharmacies are charging, they're charging more on the back end, like for dispensing fees and things like that, which cost money. So this, so Navitus came up, with this solution, would possibly save money because, the increase in cost of prescriptions is trending. The trend on pharmaceutical drugs is almost double than what the medical trend statewide and nationwide as well too. So, the cost of pharmacy drugs are more than what medical costs are.
So we have a clinic called United Medical Center. It's got its own pharmacy inside. That's probably not in network.
We can find out if employees have been going there.
I know people have to be going there because it's always full. It's United
Yeah.
Medical Center.
If they've been getting prescriptions there, it's still gonna be in the system, in the network, yes, sir.
Yeah.
But if you could give me the name, I can definitely.
United Medical Center.
United Medical Center.
I'm while you're writing that down, I'll say, so CVS and these a couple other pharmacies that are being dropped. The point is that their dispensing fees are significantly higher than H-E-B, Walgreens, Walmart, et cetera. So the goal is to help you all save money in your prescription claims by taking those out of the network.
And there's a pharmacist in that United Medical Center, correct?
Yes, sir.
It seems like we're all diabetic, right? Jesus Christ, we're on all kinds of medicine.
The one other thing that we want to,
Maggie.
the one other thing that we definitely want to stress to the Commissioners Court, and we've been doing this, at least Mark and I in our counties in West Texas, you know, we want to try to change a culture, you know, at our counties, an employer culture, a county culture, because, you know, Mark lives it every day, you know, as far as how to live in a healthy lifestyle, okay? So we cannot control what these pharmaceutical drugs are charging. We can't control what the hospitals, the doctors, any type of all this medical service, we cannot control what they're charging at all, but we can control ourselves. Okay, so we want to make sure, you know, to keep inviting us, to keep coming here to do trainings. We can do as much as we can on our end. And as a judgment, as you said, jokingly, we're all diabetics, so that's fine. But we have tools, we have programs that are available for people who are diabetic or who have any type of critical conditions. We're here and we've been here plenty of times to go over those programs, but we're highly encouraging employees to take advantage of the programs that doesn't cost them a dime. Our pool has invested so much money in our wellness programs to give our members tools so they can help manage their conditions. And people who manage their conditions much better than those who do not cost less money. So if you're not managing your condition, you're costing the county money, taxpayers money, and actually yourself money because you're paying more out of pocket just to manage your condition. Mark, did you want
And
to
bottom
mention?
line, yeah, you're just not gonna feel as good, right? So if you take care of yourself better,
This-
even if you have a condition, you'll feel better.
This item will be brought back. If y'all have any questions, please reach out to Juanita, reach out to me. Matt, reach out to Matt on the sheet, the one I just gave you. The numbers, we'll put some numbers together on the little survey that Juanita sent out yesterday. We should have some numbers and, we'll add some numbers and go across the categories, employee with child, employee with, children, employee, the whole family. We'll put numbers with what she gives us, this afternoon. We'll send that out to y'all to see what it would cost, and then deduct it from the 377. I'm really a big fan of the program we have right now. The only reason that you would change is that you'd be trying to help some of the employees, put more of their family on. But when you look at it from the county side, I think it would save us some money now, and just depending how bad they use it, it might get more expensive, but you can't tell. That's still up in the air. But once you get out of grandfather clause again, or once you get out of grandfather plan that we have, not grandfather clause, not Santa Claus.
It's actually.
You can't go back.
It's actually employee retention They have a good plan.
Well, and again, you know, we've had employees that were able to retire in their 40s, and we're still paying for it. I think some of our biggest claims right now, they've gotten old enough where they're going to be coming off this year or next year. Some of our biggest claims, which I feel bad for them because they're going to lose the insurance. But on the other side, we're not going to have a $500,000 claim.
And they'll have Medicare.
Yes.
You know, so with that said, you know, last 3 years, over 100% loss ratio. Hopefully next year we'll see that trend coming down. Okay, so, and that would definitely help. With those coming off, the county gets younger as well too, so that definitely helps you. You're not as riskier. The older you are, as a plan as a whole, you have a little bit more risk.
Okay.
All right.
I sure do thank you, and that's no more.
Yes,
Thank y'all so much. Y'all, every time that we call, y'all are always here.
Absolutely.
So thank y'all so much.
All right, thank you.
Really do appreciate it. Sorry we took so long.
No.
And please, if you have any, follow-up questions over the next, week before the final decision,
And
please reach out to
If
them
the funnel them
or
through
us.
Juanita or
So
me
we can answer your
or
questions.
Matt, then we'll get y'all the questions. All right?
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a safe trip.
Yes, sir.
We'll see y'all later.
Are we still having cake?
We
No, not right now.
We having cake, we can, and it is. Hopefully there's still cake left.
You need a sugar in it?
No action needed, on that one. It will be brought back, for the next Commissioners Court meeting. Item 40, discussion possible action on approval of HR monthly reports for period of June 5th through June 18th. Real quick, there are 5 individuals, NOP, Q and R, for general public information. These individuals, the salaries there are annual salaries before we start getting phone calls that, why are they so high? They are annual salaries, but if you look at the agenda item, they're going to be paid basically, Monday, the rest of our fiscal year. So the increase between what they're making, today and what they will be getting is nowhere near that 135,000. Okay, one of the things that needs to be said is paid with SB 22 money. Okay, and, those funds, the district attorney, the county attorney's got 250.
175.
175.
The VA got 250, we get
175, okay. And then, SB 22 money also, just for the record, through the sheriff's office is 350,000. That's how come, when you look at the budget that goes out and you look at the budget that we're in, there is a line item that says SB 22. Those funds, for whatever individual, including individuals that are in here, when those funds go away and that grant is no longer available, so does the money that is listed in the budget and the money that they would be receiving today. Again, there is a line item, in our budget underneath each one of the names that receives, SB 22 money, or whether they're Operation Lone Star or BPU. That's what their name, and then there's a line item that states that category. Right now, we're talking about SB 22. When those funds go away, if they go away, when they go away, then whatever that individual was making that is posted in the budget under general fund money, that's what that individual would be paid. You know, is that pretty clear? Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
So,
Well, I mean, it is. That's right.
So in our budget, each person that receives SB 22 money, their name, there's a line item that says it's general fund money, and then below it says SB 22. Those are the funds that are tied to the grant SB 22. If it's Operation Lone Star, it says OLS money. If it's BPU money, it says BPU money. All those monies that we receive through grants, once those grants go away, either the whole position goes away, or and the grant money goes away. It could be one or both. Okay, and it will revert back to whatever that individual was making, that is in that budget, for that fiscal year. To give an example, fiscal year 24-25, some of these individuals that are in there, they're making X. 25-26 in the general fund, they're going to be making 3% more and making more money in the general fund money if that's what the court approves. Okay, but the SB 22 money will go away completely.
And if I may, Judge,
Yes, sir.
as to the individuals that you pointed out from my office, Senate Bill 22, the grant, is very restrictive, and I can only spend that money on salaries and only for individuals in these positions. I can't buy equipment, I can't buy a computer, I can't buy a desk, and I can't even provide an increase in salary to my other staff who are not identified or rather designated under that grant.
And I don't have a problem with the pay increases, as long as we're in agreement that when this grant money is gone, those pay increases will be gone, or any new positions were created with that money will be gone also.
That's exactly in line with.
You know, and I just want to repeat myself, because, I mean, he covered it pretty much, but, we just to make sure that we're on that same track, you know, that when it's done,
Good.
goes back.
And so the court knows also, if I don't expend this money, I have to send it back to the comptroller, and it's very likely I won't get that full grant next year. So we've got to spend the money, and we did this last year, it was approved by the comptroller, so we're just basically following suit.
Okay. Well, I will make a motion to approve the HR monthly report.
I'll second that.
I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 41, discussion possible action on 2025 unclaimed capital credit for. And we put Matt's items at the end because in case there was changes somewhere in the front, we'd have an opportunity to address them and not have to go back. You're up, Nancy.
So item 41 is just approval for county judge to sign the request to submit unclaimed property credits for counties, which is monies that was due to residents from the county from electric bills. So those were never claimed. That goes to the state comptroller, and it's just basically
We have an
a
opportunity to claim them.
Correct.
You just need to ask for it.
Yes.
Have a motion?
Motion.
A motion, Commissioner Flores. Commissioner Wardlaw, would you give the second? Commissioner Wardlaw gave the second. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. 42, approving bills for
Motion
payment.
to approve for Senate.
A motion, Commissioner
Second.
Flores. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 43, discussion possible action to approve the auditor's report.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Discussion possible action on the following budget adjustments. We'll do one by one. A, $6,437.95 to 83 district capital from general capital, and $3,832.05 from district capital to general capital. And this right here is to purchase chairs, tables, not only for his office, but also for the general courtroom.
Motion to approve, Judge.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second. Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item C, $40,000 to parks from building maintenance, from parks to building maintenance repairs. I'm sorry. Well,
Miss B.
all right, let's go to B. $21,600 to 63rd District Capital for general capital.
What is this?
We're purchasing equipment again.
And that would be from the 63rd, 83rd improvements.
Yes.
Motion to approve.
And Judge, there's an additional $11,765.80 that's needed for the 63rd purchase.
But the 6,300 and some odd thousand wouldn't cover that?
Oh, no, I'm looking at B.
So you need another 11,000 to the
Yes.
6,000? When did this come in?
63rd
We'll
purchase.
we can't do that here.
Yeah.
We'll have to do that. later.
New item, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I thought the 6,437 and the 3,800 some odd thousand was for the,
That's for 83rd.
Okay.
There's two different,
okay, I didn't see that other one then. When did he bring that in? And I'm sorry, I'm getting off. I'm trying to figure out the 21,000.
Elva, your office sent it to me. Elva did.
Yeah, but,
On 23rd and.
okay, we'll need to talk about it because, thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Okay, the 21,600 to the, to 63rd Capital, and that's coming out of the 100,000, of the 18,000 we already spent,
Correct.
whatever's left. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Further motion.
I made a
I thought
motion.
You made a motion, Commissioner Flores, who gave the second?
I'll make a second.
Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. C, 40,000 to parks and building maintenance improvements from parks, building maintenance repairs.
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
This is just moving money within this budget, right?
Okay, so what does that leave in that account? I don't get where it's coming from.
I have it right here.
Huh?
Here is building repairs. Here is fairgrounds improvements.
So where's it going though?
There's 40 coming out of here going up.
You're moving 40,000 out
From
of,
building
building
repairs
repairs, to
up
move
to
to 40,000 to fairgrounds improvements. And that
And
leaves you with
this
a
leaves us-
balance of 18,000. What is,
No,
what's the
that's
balance?
encumbrances. It'll be about 20, 25,000.
So you're gonna have 23,000 and change in building repairs.
So it's not gonna have enough to,
We've got 3 months left, 3.5 months
I
left.
will remove my motion, Judge.
You've got $63,000, you're gonna take $40,000 out, you're gonna leave $23,000 in that line item. And one AC unit that we've been spending money on cost us $11,000 to $15,000.
Well,
If you wanna
Judge,
move it,
the thing about that is the AC repair used to come out of building repairs, but now it comes out of equipment maintenance.
and we did that.
And that down here has 46,000 in it.
And again, you're still paying a lot of building repairs. If you wanna move it, bring it back later on, because you still have 3 months left. But you're gonna move $40,000 now, have $23,000 left, and don't know what your expenses are gonna be.
Well,
I mean, again, it's whatever y'all wanna do. He removed his motion. If y'all have a motion, then we'll vote on it.
I was wanting to get it started to move over there because we've got processes to go through to make the improvements that I was gonna use it on.
No, and the parking lot that you want to approve would cost $700,000. You move $40,000 over there, I don't know, 18 years? 17 years to do it at this rate. But again, not gonna get an argument, the motion's been withdrawn. If y'all wanna leave that little of funds in there with 3.5 months left still in the budget, it's a matter of a motion, a second, and we take a vote.
From what I understand, the ACs are the biggest problem in building repairs, and those are coming out of equipment maintenance.
Again, Commissioner, we don't have a motion. If you wanna make a motion, you get a second, we'll take a vote.
I'll make a motion to table the item to include Commissioner Vasquez in a full court for the decision because it's so controversial. I think that's a better idea.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion to table, Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Garcia. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. D, 90,000 to Road and Bridge Precinct 3 paving from Road and Bridge Precinct 3 operating. You're gonna have enough money to finish out of your operating?
Yeah, I've budgeted about 15,000 a month.
Okay,
I'm just trying to get some extra paving in.
okay. Do you feel comfortable doing this now, or would you feel more comfortable bringing it back at the end of July?
I'd rather do it now because we can encumber the money, but I don't have to spend it. Like, we can issue the PO for it, and then Jaime can take delivery a little at a time.
Okay. What I'm gonna propose to the court, just so y'all know, and that way y'all don't start spending paving budget, I will propose to the court, at the next meeting, that your paving budget be rolled over. That way you're not out trying to order material and then can't use it right away, towards the end of the year, and then it gets hard on us.
Right.
Okay? And the reason I would only propose rolling over any funds at all would be is that we're doing it for every department, which is the road and bridge, for all the departments, that there is a tax that we collect for road and bridge. To where if we begin to do that in the general fund, then you'd have to do it for everybody because there's a tax that goes into all of it, and that would not be possible. Okay? So you make a motion, we get a second, we go on.
Okay, I make a motion to approve 44D.
A second.
Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Garcia, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Item 45, discussion possible action to approve the monthly department fee reports and revenue audits for the following departments. A, Justice of the Peace Precinct 1, Justice of the Peace Precinct 2, Justice of the Peace Precinct 3, Justice of the Peace 1, 3, and 4, County Clerk. Motion for B. Good. All those in favor, oh, wait a minute, I need a second.
I'll second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores and Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
You have E, F, G, and H.
All in favor? E, F, G, and H. Is that part of your motion too?
Yes,
everything. You beat me to it.
Everything. I'm saying your words.
You're trying to save me from talking.
I'm choking.
Commissioner Wardlaw, are you okay?
Yes,
Okay.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, 4-0. 46, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code, A 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, B 551.071, parentheses 1, parentheses A, contemplated litigation, C 551.072, regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter, B 551.073, regarding the negotiated contract, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter, E 551.076, regarding security advice, security audits, and/or security personnel. Y'all will give us the room, we'll take a little break, and then we'll come back into executive session. Commissioners Court come back into session. We'll move on to item 47, Commissioners' comments. None. Item 48, County Judge's comments. I've been waiting for over a month now for the Hispanic Chamber to come make a comment to us, or to let us know about funds that I believe were misused or given to a company in order for advertisement. I spoke to Mr. Langton. I spoke to the president of the Hispanic Chamber. I asked her to come 2 weeks ago if she would please come and just make a comment in citizens' comments or send somebody. She didn't. My understanding is from a couple of the commissioners that there was a $45,000, well, over $45,000 that was given to an individual. And visiting with the city attorney, she had said that the chamber had visited with them. And bottom line is that a couple of individuals that received money were also voted for the main company to get money. I think they are under the impression that because the county has not given them, or they've not come to ask money since 2020, 2021, that they are not public funds with which they dealt with. The problem is that I don't know how you would separate them from not being public funds. Don't know what the city's going to do because the city's been giving them money all the time. You know, we have the FBI questioning me, questioning commissioners, one of the commissioners, my engineer, my purchasing, everybody else on what we do. Maybe they should take a better look at what's going on out in the public. And if any commissioner, member of the court, or council knew that their status as a Hispanic chamber, their nonprofit status had been put on hold, and the city kept giving them money. Okay, I don't appreciate the way this was handled. They were given opportunities to come and talk to us. I really don't care that some of the money was given back, but it just does not pass the smell test. In the county budget, as we move forward, the budget that I present to Commissioners Court, the Hispanic Chamber will not be in there for hot tax funds. Now, it'll be up to the court to move forward and put them back in. But in the county judge's budget, me being the county judge, they will not receive any funds in the budget that I present to the court. Very disappointed in all the board members. I just don't think it's right. All they had to come is come in citizens' comments again. Don't know what the city's going to do. And if the Hispanic Chamber's been advised by attorneys that work for other entities that what they did was enough and telling the city didn't need the county, y'all are going to be sadly surprised. I am fixing to ask for a full investigation into the Hispanic Chamber by the FBI, Marshall. I don't know who the hell to go talk to, but we're fixing to figure this out. You had an opportunity to come to this court. We are not going to be part of in a conversation out in the general public that we are part of a cover-up. This court's not going to be part of that. Okay. Mr. Langton, I spoke with you. You were part of an 8:30 Times. Mr. Javier, never talked to you, but you have the Texas Times. You report on us every time that we do shit and do stuff bad. This was something that should have been reported. Y'all knew about it, y'all voted on it, and y'all continued. So as a county judge, I believe that there needs to be an investigation because there was public funds used by the Hispanic Chamber to write a check to an individual that did not provide the service. And at the very least, they should have notified the public that their nonprofit status to other people that were giving them money had been put on hold by the state of Texas. That's my comment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
I have motion Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Garcia, all in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 4-0. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good day.